It's Friday, May 15th. Boy, oh boy, were those winds something yesterday. SaskPower saying at least 10 transmission structures were damaged.
The only time our fees move is when the government says that we get an increase.
An emergency meeting was held in Roganville last night to discuss changes to the province's childcare agreement.
Look up, turbulent flights, dodging cumulus clouds, squares drawing a line, but we had to...
Drake releasing a new album in Montreal. Big winners on the ice. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. TGIF. My name is Daryl. Welcome to Your Morning.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
How about the little gusty wind we had there yesterday?
Yeah.
We're still here this morning.
Environment Canada has issued the top wind speeds that they registered at their stations across the province. And the winner is Radville with gusts up to 115 kilometers per hour yesterday.
Congratulations to them. Let's talk more about it here in news. SaskPower says at least 10 transmission structures have been damaged southwest of Saskatchewan due to the severe storm winds. With wind gusts as high as 110 kilometers an hour, the storm-related damage has impacted customers in East End, Robsart, Vidora, Consul, Claydon, and rural areas towards the U.S. border. Environment and Climate Change Canada says the cause of the wind storms were because of a deep low-pressure system coming from Alberta.
Top wind. We also have a big push of cold air coming in from the Arctic, so when you combine the really warm air that we had the last couple of days and some cold air and a rapidly deepening low pressure system, that's when you have that combination for really strong winds.
It says the top wind speed was 115, if you can believe it. Although crews have been on site since Thursday morning trying to restore power. SaskPower says some communities can be expected to be without power until later today as workers wait for the wind to calm down just for safety reasons. SaskPower is also advising people to stay at least 10 meters away from downed power lines. Officials warn continued rainfall could worsen already high water levels in parts of Saskatchewan, dealing with flooding heading into the long weekend. Heavy rainfall is expected across much of Saskatchewan over the next several days. It's May long weekend, surprise, surprise, raising concerns about increased runoff and accelerated snow melt in the north. Forecasts call for about 20 to 40 millimeters of precipitation starting as rain and possibly changing to snow later in the week, with higher amounts possible locally. Officials say saturated ground and limited absorption capacity could trigger rapid runoff and further rising water levels across the region.
Have rainfall on snow, it can accelerate that runoff where we have that snowpack. So we're watching that. But if it does turn to snow, that does kind of give a little reprieve to that runoff. Kind of slows it down a bit. So that's what we're watching really closely.
Officials are urging drivers to consult the highway hotline before traveling for the latest updates on road conditions. Regina Fire investigating an overnight fire. This one happening at a commercial building on the 1800 block of Broad Street. Crews quickly extinguished it and contained it to the room of origin. No injuries were reported. That fire under investigation. Canada's long-awaited electricity strategy has been released.
This announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
The new plan is to double the capacity of the national electricity grid by 2050. It would also adjust clean electricity regulations to allow natural gas to play a larger role. Now, Prime Minister Mark Carney says affordability is a key consideration with the goal of lowering energy costs for 70% of Canadian households. Construction is expected to cost more than $1 trillion, and public money will be used to cover some of the cost. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling it a re-announcement of old Liberal policies that, quote, hiked electricity prices.
Are there assets that the federal government has that we could recycle the investment into supporting building new assets?
is that in a much
Also yesterday, announcing the possibility of selling public assets to help fund infrastructure in this country. Carney says he's open to the idea. It comes after both the November federal budget and April spring economic statement mentioned exploring new ownership options for Canada's federally owned airports. Later today, Carney is expected to formally announce changes to industrial carbon pricing in Alberta. A partnership in southern Saskatchewan is set to boost forward production in natural hydrogen. The City of Moose Jaw has signed a memorandum of understanding with Max Power Mining Corp to identify strategic opportunities related to natural hydrogen. The site is located just outside of Central Butte and is expected to employ 80 people with 3 different wells that they plan to drill.
You know, the hydrogen is not new. It's been around the industry for many decades. But all the hydrogen the industry is using is manufactured. So you're using energy to produce energy. Here it's a naturally occurring hydrogen. So basically there is no input cost for energy to produce energy. So this is a new, clean, affordable energy frontier.
Max Power started drilling at the site in November. Saskatoon Mayor Cynthia Block says the city must be bold moving forward. She gave her annual State of the City address to members of the Saskatoon Chamber of Commerce Thursday, where she said Saskatoon is undergoing a transformation. And just like the leadership of the last century, big changes like a downtown arena, rapid transit bus system, and a new library can cause fear. And while these decisions are moving their way through council, rather, she says it's natural for that fear to cause calls for a second look to reconsider.
To be bold is part of the culture of the city. We've seen it throughout the decades. We've seen it under many mayors. And I think that if we continue to lead boldly, especially in this time where we have an opportunity to capitalize in ways that I haven't seen in my lifetime.
The Chamber says its members are waiting for some of these bold plans to materialize, and it wants to see some decisive action soon. Prince Albert Raiders fans packed the Art Hauser Centre again last night as the community shows support for their team in the WHL final. Raiders fans have been treated to a long playoff run this year and are showing their Prince Albert pride at home games. Fans decked out in Raiders gear or whatever green items they might be able to find, cheering at the top of their lungs. Some fans supporting the team since day one, like this one.
Since 1971. Yeah, we were the originals. Well, part of the originals, yes.
Game itself was full of drama. Game 5, of course, tonight in Prince Albert. Let's give away that code word, Kayleen.
All right, Daryl, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is wallet. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter wallet with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, the big talker in the Weather Center today obviously is those winds that we saw yesterday, those strong gusts that were damaging power lines. We saw a lot of those power outages yesterday across the province. Let's talk about the top reported wind speeds, the top 6 reported wind speeds from the 10 communities across the province. Radville, that was our number 1, 115 kilometers per hour with those gusts. Climax, 109 kilometers per hour. Milestone, Swift Current, and Coronach all reported wind gusts up to 107 kilometers per hour. Also with those high winds, Estevan, Yellowgrass, and Val Marie sharing that top wind gust speed of 106 kilometers per hour. Shaunavon up to 100, and Regina saw their peak at 98 kilometers per hour. So again, very gusty yesterday. Let's take a look at what we can expect today. Still seeing a gusty day today. A lot of red on the screen, but the good news is we're not seeing quite as much of that purple on our screen that we were seeing yesterday. So although it is going to be windy again today, it is going to be tapering off later on in the evening. And we're seeing the strongest wind gusts today right around Estevan, where we could be seeing those winds gusting up to about 70 kilometers per hour. So again, windy, but an improvement from what we saw yesterday. What's not an improvement is the amounts of precipitation that we're going to be seeing. And yes, all that purple on your screen is snow. This is a current look at what we're seeing in northern Saskatchewan, extending down down through central Saskatchewan as well. We've been seeing some precipitation in the areas around Saskatoon already this morning, Prince Albert, of course. Now, the actual expected amounts of precipitation that we're expecting is highly uncertain, according to Environment Canada, because the snow is going to be so wet that it's going to have a really hard time actually accumulating. So we don't actually know how much it's going to be, but it's not going to stick around. That's what we do know. Saturday by about 7:45 p.m., you can see that's when the system does minimize by quite a bit. Still seeing some green on your screen, but the larger totals of that precipitation have taken a break before returning for Sunday. This is around 1:30 p.m. And Regina, just when you thought that we were going to get away without the snow, well, unfortunately, that's not the case. By the evening hours, we see quite a bit of that purple right around Regina. This is heading on into early Monday morning. So areas throughout central and southern Saskatchewan seeing some snow for May long weekend. Temperatures also going to be quite cool by Sunday, only 6 degrees in Regina with that rain on the way. In Saskatoon, seeing single-digit highs for today and tomorrow, and also into Sunday, 8 degrees with that cloud cover.
A ribbon cutting at the University of Regina to signify a new virtual reality lab for nursing students.
But I like how technology has advanced that they applied it to nursing.
Fourth-year student Tree Lee is no stranger to the world of virtual reality, saying he grew up using it for video games. And now that it is being used across the country to train future nurses like himself, Lee says the VR training is a great way to learn without the stresses of a real-world environment.
Just being able to have a VR setting and having that controlled space where you're allowed to make mistakes, people can learn from it.
Members of the Faculty of Nursing say that several aspects of the VR training will translate directly to real-life situations for the students.
They can talk to the patient, they can manipulate some equipment to a certain extent, they can simulate procedures. It's quite a realistic environment considering it's virtual reality.
The virtual lab becoming a reality thanks to support from the provincial government.
This was something that was proposed by nurses that they thought would improve their ability. And, as a government, we're very proud to partner with our educational partners on educating more nurses. That's our goal, is to have more nurses available to work in Saskatchewan.
Lee says he enrolled because the province is in need of nurses and he wants to do his small part, and that the VR lab provides an exciting new way for himself and future students to receive their education.
I want to be able to work on a hospital unit just to be able to help people, because I've always heard stories of nursing shortages and how nursing is always so stressed and how there's such a high turnover of nurses.
Evans says the lab will allow nursing students to complete 1/4 of their future clinical experience in a virtual setting, which will free up space in hospitals for real-world training. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
All right, in case you missed it, this robot's job is to swim underwater and look for life. What happens when it finds marine life? Well, the robot will follow it, track its movements. Eventually, there will be enough data to identify biodiversity hotspots. Curie is the name of the robot, and it's fully autonomous. Once the mapping mission is done, the information will be used to protect coral reefs.
Okay, have some fun using some robots for good.
Yeah, exactly. We are pretty anti-robot on this show, but...
anti-humanoid robot.
Yeah, when it's one of these ones that's being used to protect marine wildlife, I can get fully on board with this.
Question of the day. It is the May long weekend, so of course it's windy, of course it's raining, and it might probably snow.
Yeah, because why wouldn't it for May long weekend, right? I know a lot of people who made plans this weekend, myself included, whose plans got canceled. We were going to have a bonfire tonight. That's not happening. So we're asking you, though, what are you doing over the long weekend? Is it staying inside with a cup of tea?
We got play dates, planned that hopefully are outdoors. We got soccer, we got swimming lessons. Life of a parent of 2 kids under 5.
Matt, your swimming lessons didn't get canceled?
They did last night with the power outage.
Oh, my daughter's gymnastics got canceled for May Long weekend this weekend.
Yeah,
so now we
freedom.
just have to, no, not even freedom. We have to figure out how to entertain an almost 2-year-old for 3 days in cold weather.
I think she'll entertain you.
Yeah.
Let us know what your plans are for the long weekend. Maybe we need some ideas. You scan that QR code, it'll send us an email. Make sure you include your name. We want to know who to credit that answer to. Let's take a look over the fine city of Saskatoon. A little rainy there. We'll talk wind speeds with Kayleen coming up in weather a little later on.
With a summit between President Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping ending without any path to resuming flows through the Strait of Hormuz, the impasse between the U.S. and Iran is moving back into focus. Traders will now watch the next steps the two countries take after more than 2 months of war. Oil is up today and markets are off as we end the week. Even with a small uptick in Canadian home sales activity in April, the Bank of Montreal says the key sales to new listings ratio careened lower to just 45.6% last month, while the Canadian Real Estate Association asserts that a ratio of 45 to 65% is good. It's a balanced market that still matches the lowest ratio since the Great Recession of 08-09, notes the bank. Porter Airlines is launching 2 new routes, expanding its Hamilton network across Canada. Non-stop service between Hamilton's YHM and Winnipeg's YWG began yesterday, operating up to 6 round trips a week. Hamilton St. John's takes off today with daily service by late June. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Well, the NFL schedule is out, and teams had a lot of fun revealing this season's opponents in what's called the Super Bowl of NFL social media. Hannah Battah reports.
Oh, my God. The Pittsburgh Steelers blasted off this year's schedule release videos with a crash course on all things Pittsburgh, including the local lingo.
Are yins going downtown?
Are yins going downtown?
The New England Patriots took us on a wild ride. At Six Flags New England, while in Chicago,
welcome back.
Bears wide receiver Rome Odunze channeled the late great TV painter Bob Ross, weaving in their schedule dates.
And if you mess up on one of them, that's okay. You can just turn into a jet like so. I'm Trevor Lawrence.
Hair also played a role in the Jacksonville Jaguars video as they did the unthinkable, seeming to cut QB Trevor Lawrence's iconic locks. LA dug deep into its Hollywood roots, with the Rams copying the opening credits from 2004's Napoleon Dynamite almost frame by frame, even using the same soundtrack.
Aye, aye, Captain. Me and the boys are on it.
Not to be outdone by LA, the Buccaneers did their own version of Tampa Baywatch. And that would be Baywatch, Florida style. While Indianapolis channeled The Simpsons Colts style.
Welcome, everybody, to the 2026 mascot schedule reveal. Thanks for jumping on. Please make sure your cameras are on.
The Arizona Cardinals reminded us all of how much so many of us hate video conferences.
It is time. Let's go.
While the Green Bay Packers proved that you can never go wrong with claymation.
Wowee, look what we have here. Jars of rare mile-high air.
And Rob Riggle channeled QVC for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs tweeted out a caption that says it all. The 90s called, they want their schedule released back. Hannah Battah, ABC News, New York.
Here's a look at your school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at 9 degrees, but cooler through Saskatoon, 2 degrees, where we have continued to see some precipitation this morning. Lower wind speeds through central Saskatchewan, but also seeing some of those cooler temperatures with single-digit highs for Saskatoon today. 4 degrees by lunch and 6 degrees by final bell. A little bit warmer through Regina, with a lower chance of seeing some of that rain through the afternoon hours. 13 degrees by lunch and Final Bell. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price, $185.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $166.9. In Saskatoon, the average price has fallen a little bit. It's at $182.9 this morning. You might be able to find it for as low as $176.9. In the farm markets today, we see the street price of canola sitting at $694.05 per ton. The futures price, $736 even. The Amber Durum wheat price at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $299.22 per ton. And the Canadian dollar has fallen slightly. It's at 72.86 cents US. Coming up next, the crop report is out. How far behind it says we are. Stay with us.
6:30, welcome to your morning. Thank you for being with us. A heated debate on the final day of the spring sitting of the legislature yesterday over Sask Power's plan to refurbish coal-fired power plants. The NDP remains critical of the cost, while the government maintains it is the best option until the move to nuclear. Wayne Mantika reports.
Sask Power is at a crossroads on the future of electrical generation in the province. Its coal-fired power plants are worn out, but it will take years to build a nuclear replacement. Until then, it plans to refurbish the coal plants. That drew fire from the NDP opposition on the final day of the spring sitting.
No accountability from a government that reeks of arrogance and entitlement. Now, we only know about the real cost of this coal plant because some brave people at Sask Power leaked them to us.
The government plans to use coal-fired power as a bridge to nuclear,
which is the most affordable, reliable way to provide power to Saskatchewan families today.
Sask Power places the capital cost of refurbishing plants at Estevan and Coronach at $2.6 billion. The cost would be about the same to convert those plants to natural gas, but far less than constructing new power plants.
On the question of the cost of coal refurbishment, the reporting costs are that $2.6 billion is the estimated value of refurbishing 1,500 megawatts of coal. And if you look at an equivalent with respect to a CER-compliant pathway with respect to natural gas, the number is $21 billion.
The NDP vow to pursue the debate everywhere they go this summer. It has been using a Sask Power cost estimate that is 10 times as high because it includes the cost of coal and employee salaries. The government will focus on explaining that difference. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
Regina police say one of their own is facing a privacy-related charge after an internal investigation found improper access to police databases over a 2-year span. Constable Clinton Duquette has been charged under Saskatchewan's Local Authority Freedom of Information and Protection of Privacy Act following an internal investigation launched in 2024. Police say the review found he improperly accessed the force's internal database on multiple occasions between 21 and 23. They say Duquette searched information on a complainant as well as members of their family and friends without a valid work-related reason. Duquette was a 10-year member of the force and was already faced internal discipline, including an unpaid suspension, mandatory ethics and privacy training, and ongoing random audits for at least 2 years. The Saskatchewan Privacy Commissioner issued 9 recommendations after being notified of the breach. 8 of those recommendations were either already in place or are now in progress. U.S. President Donald Trump has wrapped up his visit to China with leaders from both countries saying they've made progress.
Been an incredible visit. I think a lot of good has come of it. We've made some fantastic trade deals, great for both countries.
President Trump says they talked about Iran. They agreed Tehran should not have nuclear weapons. President Xi Jinping, meantime, once again warned the U.S. mishandling of Taiwan could lead to conflict. Both leaders had warm words for each other during the 2-day visit, but there were few actual deals announced. According to a new survey, almost a quarter of Canadians say they have turned down a vaccine recommended by their doctor. Most of the people who declined a vaccine say they were worried about possible side effects. deaths. The poll found people from Alberta were most likely to skip a shot. People from Quebec were least likely. Yesterday was World Vaccine Day. Parents at a Regina daycare are fearing its closure, saying a critical donor pulled its funding, leading to cuts of some services, including transportation.
So many people have come here, and it's not just people in this community, in Cathedral, but all of Regina, because they were doing transportation all across the city. And so, like, not having this place, it's people who are broken and lost and hurt and, you know, damaged. What are they supposed to do?
Families from across the city utilize the Regina Early Learning Centre as well as its drop-in program and other services. In a letter to parents, the centre's executive director says preschool transportation will end June 30th due to financial constraints. Letter goes on to say the centre wants to assure families they are actively working to secure funding to allow the preschool program to continue operating for the 26-27 school year. The Regina Early Learning Centre did not respond to repeated interview requests. An emergency meeting was held in Rocanville last night to discuss changes to the province's childcare agreement. Dream Big Daycare Incorporated says an inequitable funding model made worse by recent changes to the Canada-Saskatchewan Canada-wide early learning and childcare agreement is putting more pressure on their operations. Some run $10,000 to $80,000 deficits.
Time our fees move is when the government says that we get an increase. So typically before this agreement came into place, we would adjust our fees yearly to offset any sort of budgetary requirements that we would need, inflation, things like that. We're unable to do that now.
The government says the program is sustainable. Those changes come into effect July 1st. Progress was made on a slow start to seeding this week, according to the latest crop update from the ministry. Seeding in Saskatchewan now at 16% complete, a 13% jump from the week before, and still lagging behind the 5- and 10-year averages. The Southwest is further ahead, as you'd expect, followed by the Southeast. The Saskatoon Mamba officially took to the court for their debut yesterday morning.
House. Samuel slips inside and hammers it down.
Jalen House poured in 33 points and added 10 assists as the Vancouver Bandits dumped the Saskatoon Mamba 124-95 at SaskTel Centre in front of 2,639 fans. 10:30 in the morning they tipped this one off. As you know, the Saskatoon Mamba used to be the Saskatchewan Rattlers, but rebranded under new ownership during the off-season. The Mamba are back in action on Saturday when they visit the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Denise snapped this shot during her drive to bigger Saskatchewan on Highway 4 a couple of days ago. Says it was following a lovely little sprinkle. Kayleen?
A double rainbow. Is there anything more beautiful than that?
Yeah, well, that's nice to not have screaming winds at us.
Well, we're still seeing elevated wind speeds today, just not quite what we were seeing yesterday. We're still seeing some of those watches, warnings, weather statements in effect. Take a look at your screen. The gray up north, that is a weather statement that's talking about the snow on the way today. And yes, that's not exactly what we want to hear for May long weekend. The actual accumulation is highly uncertain, according to Environment Canada right now, because it is going to be such a wet snow combined with that rain. It's going to be that wintry mix. That means that it's going to have a really hard time accumulating. So we're not actually certain on how much is actually going to be on the way. The green on your screen is still talking about that rainfall warning. And down in the southeast corner of the province, that's where we're still seeing some of those wind warnings currently in effect. Still could be seeing some strong wind gusts today. Now, the Regina traffic camera showing us nothing right now, unfortunately, but I can show you that we are at 9 degrees currently with a mix of sun and cloud. Wish we could see it. Winds are currently coming in at 43 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, also not seeing anything on our cameras. Looks like we're having a bit of an issue there with some precipitation out there this morning, though, and we're seeing winds coming in at 35 kilometers per hour. Let's talk about some current temperatures and get some color back on your screen. -6 right now to wake you up in Stony Rapids, -5 in South End, -2 in Buffalo Narrows. So still seeing some of those minus temperatures. 2 degrees in Prince Albert, 1 degree in Melfort. Down in the south, we're seeing 8 degrees in Moose Jaw, 9 degrees to wake you up in Weyburn, 7 degrees degrees in Assiniboia and 6 degrees through East End. Later on into the afternoon, though, we're going to be seeing a lot of places through northern and central Saskatchewan with single-digit highs today, so far below that seasonal average. 3 degrees with that snowfall for Prince Albert, 4 degrees with that wintry mix for the Battlefords, 6 degrees in Saskatoon, more so expecting that to be rain today and then overnight transforming into snow. Yorkton with those winds, 9 degrees, 13 for Regina, 18 for Weyburn, and 19 for Estevan. Again, down through Estevan is where we're going to be seeing the strongest wind gusts later on this afternoon. Dropping for temperatures a little bit tomorrow, 12 degrees. 6 degrees in Regina on Sunday with that rain on the way, and 8 degrees for Monday. The sun coming out just in time for you to go back to work on Tuesday. 12 degrees, 16 degrees on Wednesday with some more rain on the way, and 18 by Thursday. So temperatures will be rebounding a little bit, dropping down to 3 degrees tomorrow for Saskatoon. So grab a jacket. 8 degrees on Sunday with that cloud cover, 11 degrees by Monday. And again, we'll be seeing the sun just in time for you to go back to work. 14 degrees on Tuesday, 16 by Wednesday with a chance of shower, and 17 degrees by Thursday.
Drafted 31st overall in the 2004 draft. He is Luke Mullender. He played 8 years with the club, the first 8 years of his incredible career. Luke, thank you so much for doing this. Now you're the color analyst for the team. You're up in Saskatoon. You're at training camp. Let's start, we could start in a number of places, but let's start with signing that #1 overall pick this year, getting Bell into the fold. What does that mean for the club?
Oh, it's massive. I mean, everybody knows in Rider Nation that the ratio means everything in the Canadian Football League, and Malcolm Bell's a guy that can potentially start here for this football club. We've already got one starter in Tavon Campbell, so depending on how ready he's able to make himself, he's a great depth add some value on special teams to potentially starting for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. So I'm just happy we got another guy, Michigan State guy, Daryl. We're good to go in my mind. Best draft pick ever.
If we could pick up a few Oregon Ducks, that'd be great. Hey, Luke, I'm interested in the quarterback battle because we know Trevor Harris is established, but if something were to happen to him, Tommy Stevens is in the fold. How does that quarterback room look to you?
Yeah, you know, Tommy Stevens and Jack Cohn have had some good moments in camp. I really like what Stevens is doing, but I'll tell you what, man, Braden Shager, number 10. He's a new quarterback here in Saskatchewan. I've really liked what he's been doing. Obviously, his first time in the Canadian Football League, first time throwing a football, but more importantly, getting acclimated to the game. And it seems like the game is moving at a good pace for him to be making some good throws, some good confident throws. So I think Braden Shager can, if he continues to develop, can really push guys like Jack Cohn. Jack Cohn and Tommy Stevens. I mean, Stevens, you know, is just an absolute truck on third down. So I think that he's a guy that's solidified. But, man, Jack Cohn's got to have a consistent camp because I think Braden Shager can push him if he continues to climb.
Riders are coming off a Grey Cup championship. We all know that. How is Corey Mace setting the mood? Because this has got to be a goldfish mentality in some ways.
Yeah, I really like the pace that the Saskatchewan Roughriders are moving at this year. You know, when you come in, I remember it was one of my first years in the media, actually, in 2014, coming off the Saskatchewan Roughriders 2013 Grey Cup Championship. And I remember saying, like, oh, my God, these guys are going to run the table. Like, look how crisp they look. I think that they look very similar this year, right? I think that they've been clean, they've been crisp. Guys are playing fast, and more importantly, Daryl, the guys that you expect to lead the way have been leading the way. Trevor Harris been one of the best guys in camp. Jameer Thurman been one of the best guys in camp. Jamarcus Hardrick has been leading vocally, and again, one of the best guys in camp. So you need your veterans to continue to establish that standard that everybody needs to get up to in order to get back to the Grey Cup. And so far, I feel like it's been there.
All right, every Rider fan wants to run out and grab the hot new jersey, but not everybody makes it through camp. Not everybody makes it through the preseason. You mentioned a quarterback. If you were going to put money down today on a jersey for a brand new player, who are you buying?
For a brand new player? Wow, that's a fantastic question. I think that if I'm buying a jersey from a new guy, one of the guys I'm buying is probably Daniel Weeb, number 87. I'm not sure how his role's going to play out this year, whether he's going to start. I think he's going to contribute massively on the offense, but he's been having a great camp. He came in ready. I think that he understood the assignment. When you look at a guy like a Joe no longer being there was a guy was going to need to step up. And so far, so good for Daniel Weeb, and he's a provincial guy. So if there's a new jersey I'm buying, it's that one. And, I got love for the trenches, man. I also buy number 62, Peyton Collins, man. He's having a great camp. He looks good. I think he's going to be one of the best players in the league this year.
You mentioned a jersey. I had to sell a Joe, unfortunately. Luke, thank you so much for the time.
All right, brother. Have a great show. You look great, man.
Hello there, Adam Scully here in the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. For it, let's go to Anaheim. Golden Knights taking on the Ducks. Mitch Marner sprung on a breakaway with Jackson Lacombe all over him. Hits the brakes. What a move by Marner. Fakes out Lucas Dostal, somehow gets creative with this spectacular finish. Marner continuing to get it done in the playoffs as he extends his postseason point lead. It's your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN NBA playoffs, Game 6 between the Pistons and Cavaliers. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Summer kickoff at Government House this Monday. Janelle, I'm glad you're in out of the elements.
Yes, I don't think we could have done this outside today. That wind is strong and that air is cold. So we are inside in the warmth, and I'm with Chad, who's the manager here, down at the Government House. Now, Chad, Monday's a big day, summer kickoff. What can people expect?
So much. There's so much going on. Not only is the 18th Queen Victoria Day, it's also International Museum Day. So it's a good opportunity for people to come out to the museum and check us out. There's a number of things going on. We've got, if the weather cooperates, the Saskatchewan British Car Club will be here. They'll be doing a little car show in our parking lot. If the weather doesn't cooperate, everything will move inside, but otherwise we're going to try to keep things outside. We'll have Absolute Zero here, the ice cream truck. We'll have Fennec Farms here with a ton of little animals for everybody to pet and play with. And we'll have Wild Magic face painting group here, so kids can come and get their face painted. We'll be giving out cookies to the kids. We'll be launching our summer hours, which change from 6 days a week to 7 days a week, 9 to 5. What else are we doing? We're launching our summer feature exhibit, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think, and scavenger hunts. There's always scavenger hunts here at Government House. You can learn a little bit about the history of the place while you explore, yeah.
Okay, so lots of fun on the agenda. Now, this is a free event. Quickly before we wrap things up, what are you hoping to see this year?
Well, we'd like to see the numbers return. We're used to seeing about 800 to 1,000 people, so hopefully we can ramp that up.
Okay, well, lots of fun. Once again, this is down at the Government House. Tons of exciting events for you to kick off summer with.
It's May 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Kirby, turning 12 years old today. We hope you have a great birthday with love from your mom, dad, Ashley, Joey, and Malia. Marking his 70th birthday today is Rick. Happy birthday to you. We hope it's your best one yet. Cheers to a wonderful day. Here's some sisters who share a birthday. Lily turns 8 today, and Kaylin turns 3. Happy birthday to you both with love from your grandma and grandpa. Looking forward to the weekend now. Monroe is turning 8 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday. We hope you have a wonderful day celebrating with those who love you. Also celebrating tomorrow is Janine. Have a great birthday with lots of love coming your way from the Chapel clan. On Sunday, happy 10th birthday to Adam. Welcome to double digits. This shout out coming from your TT Louise, your mom, dad, and sister. Also on Sunday, Aaron Bird, known as Birdman, celebrating his special day. We hope you have a great weekend, Aaron, with love from your fiance, Sorma, as well as your family and friends. And a big happy birthday going out to Leia on May 17th. Have a fabulous birthday with love from Mama and Grandpa. And last but certainly not least, a big happy birthday going out to Rick, celebrating on Monday. Rick, you have a ton of love coming your way from your family. Enjoy your day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
What's happening today, Chase?
Hoping to give away that $1,400 now with that Name That Sound. It's coming up at 7:40, so get ready to play there. And then we're talking about all of that wind, too, because yesterday maybe you lost something in the wind. What's something you wish that the wind maybe blew away? The wind in this scenario. Maybe it's something in your basement, your garage, your house that's just been taking up space for too long, and you wish that it maybe just accidentally got put onto the front yard yesterday, and then, oh no, the wind got rid of it. What is that? You can text over 54321.
Thank you so much, Chase. We'll do it again in an hour.
We'll see you then.
The biggest names in country take the stage this weekend at the Academy of Country Music Awards. This year's host is the legendary Shania Twain, who says she wants to make the performers feel relaxed and comfortable.
But it can be very, very stressful for the nominees and the artists, right? So I feel my role is to represent fun, a good time, and be a cheerleader.
The 61st ACM Awards stream live from Las Vegas Sunday on Prime Video.
Well, there's so much stuff, and
Ben Stiller is staying busy. The actor and director is set to star in the Netflix film A Matter of Time. It's about an unlikely angel who's sent to convince a reclusive man to give up his life for the good of society. No word on a release date for the project. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Things that that we never even talked.
Let's kick things off with some sisters who are the exact opposite. Yeah, let's go. I want the second one. The duo daughters are different as night and day, apparently. The younger one prefers all things princess. The other one's playing with Nerf guns. I love that so much.
I can say this is completely accurate. I have two sisters. All of us are completely opposite. Not a single one of us shares a single trait.
So far, Arya is definitely the latter.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely the
I think
latter.
Sadie is too, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It's one thing to be different from your sibling, but it's another to forget you have one altogether. Take a look.
Squeaky.
Crew's in there.
What's up with Squeaky?
Look at his face. Big sis forgot her little bro was in the basket, stepped right on him.
Yeah, that'll happen. That will happen.
Yeah, I mean, you're an older brother, right?
Walking all over him. Let's wrap up this edition of Sibling Sidebars, the sad feeling of experiencing your first silent treatment.
And be my friends. And be your friends. Aww. You don't want to talk to me. She's going to talk to you.
2-year-old Sienna doesn't understand why her sister just won't talk to her.
And then in about a year or two, she'll be like, why will my little sister not stop talking?
Why won't she leave all of my things alone?
Yeah. That's the way.
Time out. We got wind speeds coming up. You want to hear this? It's Friday, May 15th.
We need a carbon pricing market that actually works.
Another day, another announcement. It's been a busy week for the Prime Minister, who today is in Alberta to announce a new agreement on carbon pricing.
Concrete repairs are ongoing on the upstream arch.
More roadwork getting underway across Saskatoon, bringing traffic slowdowns and detours to some of the city's busiest routes.
If it was 100 hours, they could have up to 25 hours in the virtual reality lab.
University of Regina Faculty of Nursing unveiling its brand new virtual reality lab. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Friday.
How about a game of Duck, Duck, Goose? This was on Albert Street yesterday. Canada Goose and Goslings crossing the busy road. Stopped traffic for a few minutes yesterday. Now, some people got out to give them a hand, including Jenna, who sent us this great video.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute.
Yeah. Honk, get out of the way, honk. We're just trying to cross here. Honk.
Yeah, I mean, like the Goslings are cute, but I don't know if you want to get that close to the mamas.
Well, at least they were trying to help. Let's get over to that wind. You'll talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to talk about how much destruction it caused yesterday, including a power outage for a large swath of Regina. Sask Power reporting damages to transmission structures, among other things. Sierra D'Souza Butts with a recap.
After looking outside his kitchen window, Travis Seaford took a drive to see the blowing wind a bit closer.
I'd say 10 seconds and it was just, you couldn't even see like 5 feet in front of you. It was crazy.
Seaford, who lives in the southwest corner of the province, says his family has been without power since Wednesday evening due to the severe windstorms.
I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime. Like it was crazy to see a dust storm in this country.
As a result, 10 transmission structures have been damaged in several southwest communities, according to Sask Power, with wind gusts as high as 110 kilometers an hour. The storm-related damage has impacted customers in East End, Rosebud, and other rural areas towards the U.S. border.
We were able to restore some communities through switching, but the community of East End is fed only by the line that's damaged, and so we need to complete repairs there before we can restore power.
On Thursday afternoon, several areas in southern Saskatchewan were reporting unplanned power outages. Environment Canada says the cause of these major windstorms is a deep low-pressure system that has come from Alberta, which is common in spring.
We also have a big push of cold air coming in from the Arctic, so when you combine the really warm air that we had the last couple days and some cold air and a rapidly deepening low pressure system, that's when you have that combination for really strong winds.
Luckily, we got a generator, so we can run a couple things. We've actually been without power quite a few times this winter, so it's nothing new to us.
Although crews have been on site since Thursday morning, Sask Power says some communities are expected to be without power until Friday, when high winds have calmed down, making it safer for workers to do their jobs. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Officials warn continued rainfall could worsen already high water levels in parts of Saskatchewan, dealing with flooding heading into the long weekend. Heavy rainfall is expected across much of Saskatchewan over the next several days. Because why? Well, it's the May long weekend. That's what happens here. It raises concerns about increased runoff and accelerated snow melt in the north especially. Forecasts call for about 20 to 40 millimeters of precipitation starting as rain, possibly changing to snow. Kayleen will get into all of that. Officials say saturated ground and limited absorption capacity could trigger rapid runoff.
We have rainfall on snow. It can accelerate that runoff where we have that snowpack. So we're watching that. But if it does turn to snow, that does kind of give a little reprieve to that runoff. Kind of slows it down a bit. So that's what we're watching really closely.
Urging drivers to consult the highway hotline so you avoid a washout or anything like that. Canada's long-awaited electricity strategy has now been released.
This announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
I thought he was going to say sliced bread. The new plan is to double the capacity of the national electricity grid by 2050 and also adjust clean electricity regulations to allow natural gas to play a larger role. The Prime Minister says affordability is a key consideration with the goal of lowering energy costs for 70% of Canadians. Now, construction expected to cost more than $1 trillion, and public money, your money, is going to be used to cover some of that cost. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling it a re-announcement of old Liberal policies. The Prime Minister confirming Thursday his government is moving forward with a potential pipeline for Alberta oil.
Transport at least 1 million barrels of low-emission Alberta oil a day to new markets.
Mark Carney also says he's preparing to share details of a new deal with Alberta on industrial carbon pricing. Sources tell CTV News that the deal will set the price at $130 a ton by 2040. That's down from the original estimate. An announcement is coming this afternoon in BC. Premier David Eby reiterated there is still no confirmed proponent or route for the proposed pipeline to the coast, and he's been in touch with Carney.
The opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister this afternoon about his MOU with Alberta's Premier. I am hopeful to be able to meet with him again next week to follow up. We're reviewing the details the Prime Minister has provided about what's in the MOU in terms of implications for British Columbia, the most significant of which relate to the carbon tax.
The prospect of a northern route for a pipeline to BC's coast has consistently been opposed by First Nations who reject the idea of lifting the existing oil tanker ban on that coast. At the Newser yesterday, Carney did not confirm whether the new plan would be a designated project in the national interest. A partnership in Saskatchewan, southern Saskatchewan, set to boost forward production in natural hydrogen. The city of Moose Jaw has signed a memorandum of understanding with Max Power Mining Corp to identify strategic opportunities related to natural hydrogen. The site is located just outside of Central Butte and is expected to give 80 people jobs with 3 different wells that they plan to drill.
Hydrogen is not new. It's been around the industry for many decades. But all the hydrogen the industry is using is manufactured. So you're using energy to produce energy. Here it's a naturally occurring hydrogen. So basically, there is no input cost for energy to produce energy. So this is a new, clean, affordable energy frontier.
Max Power started drilling at the site in November. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith has suggested the notwithstanding clause is an option to overrule a judge's decision to throw out a separation petition. First Nations leaders say it's not that simple.
Just remember one thing, they had a duty to consult, they failed to do so, and they're paying the consequences because of our constitutionally protected rights under Section 35.
The future of a potential referendum dominated the last sitting day in Alberta's legislature. The province's justice minister says the government has started the process of mounting an appeal. Premier Smith is also facing calls from separatist leaders to call a referendum herself. Prime Minister Mark Carney has also weighed in, saying the best place for Alberta to be is in Canada. Authorities in the U.S. have charged 13 people accused of trafficking guns into Canada.
Arms across borders, or if you help arm criminal organizations, federal law enforcement will find you, investigate you, and prosecute you.
It's alleged dozens of illegal guns were moved from the U.S. into Canada through tribal lands which sit on both sides of the border. Some of these weapons were traced to crime scenes in Canada. Court documents say the scheme ran from 21 to at least 24 people. 5 of them charged, pleaded guilty, with 8 others indicted. If convicted, they could face decades in prison. More road work is getting underway across Saskatoon, bringing traffic slowdowns and detours to some of the busiest areas. This one is Idlewild Drive. Earlier yesterday, the city of Saskatoon says overnight work is scheduled between the 20th and 25th Street and between 39th and 51st Street. New water and sewer infrastructure is also being installed in the Marquise industrial area near Silverwood Heights, causing a detour along part of Wanuskewin Road. Meanwhile, work continues on College Drive and University Bridge, with the city saying the project remains on schedule.
Currently, it is going to plan. Access to the structures and arches is complete, and the handrails and scaffolding were installed to reach the repair areas. Concrete repairs are ongoing on the upstream arch.
Is expected to reopen in mid-June, while construction along College Drive will continue throughout the summer. The Saskatoon Mamba officially took to the court for their debut yesterday morning.
House. Samuel slips inside and hammers it down.
Jalen House poured in 33 points and added 10 assists as the Vancouver Bandits dumped the Saskatoon Mamba 124-95 at SaskTel Centre in front of 2,639 fans yesterday. 10:30 in the morning they tipped this thing off. As you know, the Saskatoon Mamba used to be the Saskatchewan Rattlers, rebranded under new ownership during the off-season. The Mamba back in action Saturday when they visit the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Let's wake up and win. Kayleen.
All right, if you say so, Daryl. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is wallet. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter wallet with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, let's talk about those wind gusts yesterday. The top 6 wind gust speeds, in fact, across 10 of the communities in the province. If this remote wants to work, there we go here. Radville, you took first place with wind gusts up to about 115 kilometers per hour. Climax, 109 kilometers per hour. There was a tie between Milestone, Swift Current, and Coronach at 107 kilometers per hour. Next up, Estevan, Yellowgrass, and Val Marie, you all tied with wind gusts up to 106 kilometers per hour. Shaunavon, 100 kilometers per hour, and Regina, we peaked here at 98 kilometers per hour. It is still going to be windy today, but not quite as bad as what we saw yesterday. Things are improving, if we can even call it an improvement, but still seeing strong wind gusts down through the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan. That's where we'll be seeing those winds peaking today, likely up to about 70 kilometers per hour, so still be ready for that. Other than that, though, Saskatoon, not so bad. We're seeing them peaking around 40 kilometers per hour, and all those areas around Hudson Bay, Prince Albert, and North Battleford, those are the areas we're expecting to see the snow today, so we're worried about that, but we're not necessarily worrying about the winds as much. Let's take a look at a current picture out there. A lot of snow that's been falling in areas in northern and central Saskatchewan this morning. Also seeing some green on your screen, so that is the rain that's falling. Again, Environment Canada is saying that the total accumulation for precipitation today is likely going to be very uncertain because we're talking about that rain that's transforming into snow, and the snow is going to have a really hard time building because of how wet it is going to be. Less of the rain down south, although we are seeing about a 30% chance of seeing some light showers in Regina today, and that does include the risk of a thunderstorm. Again, it's not a strong chance, but it does exist, so we're just going to warn you about it just in case. By Saturday, 8 a.m., still seeing some of those flurries in the province, although the system has shrunk by a considerable amount. By the evening hours on Saturday, again, more so just seeing some of that rain down south, and then the system starts to build again down south. So just when we think down south we're going to be clear from that snow, then we get further on into the weekend. This is Monday around 1 a.m. in the morning, and we're seeing quite a bit of that snow falling in areas around Yorkton, Regina, and Swift Current. Temperatures are also going to be quite low for your May long weekend, so stay inside, grab a good book, and make sure you're staying warm and safe from that snow, rain, and wind. Time now for a look at your cool rural forecast. It's going to be cool today with the snow. 2 degrees for Spiritwood, 2 degrees in Melfort, 6 degrees in Watrous with that wintry mix, 5 degrees in Wynyard, and 8 degrees in Outlook. Down south, seeing more of those double-digit temperatures, but a whole lot of those wind gusts. 14 degrees for East End, 16 degrees for Rockland, 13 degrees for Pilot Butte, and 17 degrees in Carlisle. Let's take a look at NACOM, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 3 degrees this afternoon, some wet snow in the afternoon, also seeing winds up to about 40 kilometers per hour.
Janelle Lippi is in Out of the Elements, but you're checking out a brand new exhibit over at Government House. Janelle, tell us all about it.
Yeah, Daryl, that's right. Not only is Monday going to be full of summer kickoff activities, but it is also the launch day for the exhibit here behind us. Chad, tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. We're excited about it. We're calling it In the Limelight, Foundation of Theatre in Regina. We're exploring Government House's connection to theatre. So some popular theatre companies in Regina got their starts here in Government House. We'll be exploring Regina Little Theatre's 100th anniversary, Globe Theatre's 60th anniversary, and almost 60 years of production for The Trial of Louis Riel. So they're all part of this exhibit. And as part of the day, the Regina Little Theatre is also putting on a little fun, lighthearted one-act performance at about 2:15 on the 18th.
All right, so a really big day full of a ton of fun activities here. Now tell me a little bit more about these activities. Once more, it is on Monday. What time do these start at?
Yes, they start at 1 and they go till 4. You can come and pet animals. You can come and get your face painted. Kids can come for a cookie. There's scavenger hunts. There's going to be an ice cream truck here. This play we're going to be doing. And then we're also launching ticket sales for a later event in the summer that we'll talk about next time.
Okay, all right. So another upcoming event to look forward to. Once again, this is on Monday. Really, really great information, Chad. Thank you very much. Again, you can come out, check some good activities out, have some fun, and even see this new exhibit behind us.
If you're at Government House, you got to give us a royal wave goodbye.
Just for you.
Thank you.
Hello there, Adam Scully here in the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. For it, let's go to Anaheim. Golden Knights taking on the Ducks. Mitch Marner sprung on a breakaway with Jackson Lacombe all over him. Hits the brakes. What a move by Marner. Fakes out Lucas Dostal, somehow gets creative with this spectacular finish. Marner continuing to get it done in the playoffs as he extends his postseason point lead. It's your must-see moment from Thursday. And tonight on TSN, NBA playoffs, Game 6 between the Pistons and Cavaliers. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Eastern. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
High schools are just getting more and more advanced. This one in Maine is getting a chance to research a real-life shipwreck.
The great thing about doing this, every time we come out and we do a report on it, we kind of compile it. So we've got a good 10, 15 years of kind of long-term study of this wreck.
Now, a low tide nearby in a river revealed a wreck from the early 1900s. Students have spent decades checking it out, trying to figure out how it wrecked, where it came from, and what it was used for. They've been working with the local Marine Institute, making this real-life classroom happen. It's just so cool that they can get out and actually do some of the things on real-life things.
And you know what? If I was in that class in high school, I still would have been complaining. I'm bored.
I'm bored.
But this is so cool.
When's spare?
Yeah.
Brings us to our question of the day. We love this on a long weekend. What are you doing this long weekend?
Every long weekend, we have to ask you to share your plans. We need ideas. The weather is going to be less than ideal. Darren saying, I'm going to spend 3 days complaining about the weather, and then I'm going to come to the realization that I live in Saskatchewan. Have a great weekend, guys. Thanks, Darren.
Beautiful.
I love Darren's optimism.
Well put.
Another one saying, for the long weekend, I'm planning on doing a little gardening, barbecuing, and as little else as possible.
Don't forget to include your names. We'd love to give you a shout out.
Yeah, Margie saying, celebrating my daughter Jessica's birthday. Happy birthday, Jessica. Tammy from Saskatoon being very productive. I'm attending the Optimist International Alberta, Montana, Saskatchewan, and North Wyoming third quarter district meeting in Saskatoon. In the meeting, we are holding our district's oratorical contest where students can win a scholarship.
I hope that organization comes up with a shorter name.
Yes, Michelle B saying, I have no long weekend plans except to watch the wind and the rain from my living room window, which is very calming. I did that yesterday. I opened my blinds and I just watched the rain and I love it.
Power went out and I listened to my 4-year-old tell me all of the things that had no power.
The power went out and I went and I picked up Janelle because I knew she was going to be scared. I went to her house and I picked her up.
Scan the QR code. What are you doing this long weekend? We're back with your morning mystery in 2 minutes. All right, let's leave this Friday with a bang. It's time for our morning mystery. 3 clues lined up for you. Let's get right to it. Clue number 1 is this. Known as Mother of Confederation for her pivotal role in establishing the Dominion of Canada in 1867. However, she never visited Canada.
Okay, that strikes out my guess.
She signed the British North America Act, selected Ottawa as the national capital, and strongly supported Canadian unity. And clue number 3, she married her first cousin in February 1840 and had 9 children.
Well, that's an interesting third clue.
That's an interesting third clue. Let's think about the weekend we're going into, Kayleen.
Oh,
got to be this.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah, okay. All right.
You're on the hot streak. I wanted to make sure.
Well, no, it's just
Didn't want you to write hi, Mom, again.
No, you said let's think about the weekend we're going into.
Yeah,
And I thought,
I'm going to say it's Queen Victoria.
Yeah.
It's got to be Queen Victoria. It is Queen Victoria. Victoria Day is commemorated annually the Monday before May 25th, making it Canada's oldest state holiday, also known as May 24 for the date and the 24 beer often purchased to celebrate the long weekend. That's your morning mystery.
With a summit between President Donald Trump and China's Xi Jinping ending without any path to resuming flows through the Strait of Hormuz, the impasse between the U.S. and Iran is moving back into focus. Traders will now watch the next steps the two countries take after more than 2 months of war. Oil is up today and markets are off as we end the week. Even with a small uptick in Canadian home sales activity in April, the Bank of Montreal says the key sales to new listings ratio careened lower to just 45.6% last month, while the Canadian Real Estate Association asserts that a ratio of 45 to 65% is good. It's a balanced market that still matches the lowest ratio since the Great Recession of 08-09, notes the bank. Porter Airlines is launching 2 new routes, expanding its Hamilton network across Canada. Non-stop service between Hamilton's YHM and Winnipeg's YWG began yesterday, operating up to 6 round trips a week. Hamilton St. John's takes off today with daily service by late June. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, 9 degrees right now with a mix of sun and cloud. Winds are still elevated, though. In Saskatoon, seeing some of that precipitation this morning, 3 degrees right now to wake you up. By lunchtime in Regina, 13 degrees and staying at that temperature through until final bell. Winds gusting between 50 to 60 kilometers per hour. Lunchtime in Saskatoon, 4 degrees, still seeing that rainfall. And by final bell, 6 degrees, could be transforming to a wintry mix at that time with some snow on the way. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price, $185.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $166.9. In Saskatoon, the average price slightly below $182.9. And you might be able to find it for as low as $176.9. In the farm markets now, we find the street price of canola at $694.05 per ton. The futures price is $736 even. Amber Durham wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat $299.22 per ton. The Canadian dollar is trending down this morning. It's at 72.86 cents US. When we come back, things get heated in the legislature over power costs. Stay with us.
Time today is 7:30. Let's get right to your headlines for this part of the hour. Sask Power's plan to refurbish coal-fired power plants was the dominant issue on the final day of spring sitting of the legislature. The Sask NDP again voicing strong opposition to the $2.6 billion capital cost of maintaining coal as the energy source. The opposition is calling for a switch to cleaner burning natural gas along with renewables. Sask Power says it could convert plants at Estevan and Coronach to natural gas for about the same capital cost, but there would be drawbacks.
Specifically about gas, absolutely we've looked at gas as a pathway. And I would tell you that right now 90% of the gas that we bring into the province is imported. It's not an in-situ fuel source. We know that LNG is something that the Government of Canada is looking at expanding. Governments of Alberta and BC are on board. And certainly we expect an escalation in the cost of gas. So how do you in turn, when you're planning a power system, ensure that you have a diversity of mix?
Sask Power says refurbishment of coal plants at Estevan and Coronach will act as a bridge toward nuclear baseload power. Saskatoon Mayor Cynthia Block gave her second State of the City address to business leaders yesterday, and after hearing of calls to be bold, the business community eager to see if that pans out.
Mayor Cynthia Block says the city must act boldly moving forward, but the local business community says those plans must turn into concrete action before it's too late.
I think that if we continue to lead boldly, especially in this time where we have an opportunity to capitalize in ways that I haven't seen in my lifetime.
But we also have to follow it up pretty quickly with an urgent plan to get them done, because as we talk about early and often, the world will not wait for Saskatoon to get its act together. It won't.
During her second State of the City address, Block spoke about a growing city with worsening homeless issues and a need for housing of all kinds. But front and center was the transformation on the horizon, with the entertainment district, Link, and a new library set to change the city in short order. And just like Midtown Mall and SaskTel Center in decades past, Block understands there's fear and apprehension about her bold vision.
We have a generation of talent that deserves to have what modern cities need and what they want. And I think we should make sure that we get it to them.
But these projects are hitting bumps in the road. A crucial stretch of Link on First Avenue was recently put on pause, which could affect the 2028 launch date. And council voted against having an American company operate the eventual downtown arena and convention center, leaving a crucial part of the funding plan up in the air.
I'm not sure where that leaves us. And so that leaves us then to remain very concerned about an action orientation to this bold vision.
Block says there's no imminent announcement, but there's been conversations that she says could de-risk the project in significant ways.
Deed will happen. It is part of the evolution of our city.
As the city navigates a number of transformational changes at the halfway point of Block's first term as mayor, businesses are hoping that these plans move forward quickly before Saskatoon is left behind. Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Thank you, Keenan. Internationally, U.S. President Donald Trump on his way home from Beijing, with Trump saying he and Chinese President Xi Jinping discussed the Iran war, with Trump saying both countries want to end the conflict.
To have a nuclear weapon, we want the straits open. We're closing it now. I mean, they closed it, then we closed it on top of them. But we want the straits open, and we want them to get it ended, because it's a crazy thing. They're a little bit crazy. And it's no good. Can't have it. They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
No major deals on trade or international policy have been announced. There are also no signs that Beijing is willing to use its clout with Iran to work toward meeting U.S. demands. A White House readout of Thursday's conversation between Trump and Xi says the two countries agreed that the strait must remain open and that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And there is also no word whether any progress has been made on the contentious issue of Taiwan. University of Regina Faculty of Nursing unveiling a brand new virtual reality lab on Thursday. A ribbon cutting signifying the official opening of the lab that will allow nursing students to learn skills through a virtual reality program that will translate to real-life skills. Now, the interim dean of the Faculty of Nursing says the VR training will allow students to complete a portion of their clinical hours outside of a hospital setting.
If it was 100 hours, they could have up to 25 hours in the virtual reality lab that would count towards that clinical experience. So that gives more space for other students to be there, because we have a fair number of students between all the programs that are for all the different kinds of nurses in the province.
Provincial government put $250,000 into this project. The hantavirus outbreak is impacting more Canadians, with more than 24 affected people being contacted for low-risk exposure.
Taking a precautionary approach, and we have deemed them to be minimal or low risk as opposed to no risk. The provinces and territories, therefore, are undertaking the work to contact these 26 individuals and provide them with information and monitor them throughout this time.
Officials are now working to contact 26 Canadians who are on a flight with a known hantavirus case linked to that deadly outbreak on the cruise ship. They're calling it a precautionary approach, as these people did not sit near or come into direct contact with the infected person. Canada's Chief Medical Health Officer, Joss Reimer, says they are not required to isolate unless recommended by their province or territory. Officials have not released where in Canada these people live. CP Rail has been cleared of all responsibility in the train derailment and explosion in Lac-Mégantic, Quebec back in 2013. A train carrying oil tankers derailed. You remember the ensuing explosion destroyed downtown Lac-Mégantic and killed 47 people. The train was owned by Montreal, Maine and Atlantic Railway, and the tracks were part of CP's network. The victim families and other groups tried to sue CP Rail and appealed to the Supreme Court, but the court refused to hear the appeal and said 2 lower court rulings should stand. With just one home game left in the WHL final, fans of the Prince Albert Raiders are making the most of this series and the entire playoff run. Game 5, of course, is tonight. Jasmine Peltier reports.
The Prince Albert Raiders fans packed Art Hauser Center again Wednesday night as the community turned out to fully support their team in the WHL finals, with kids excited to see their favorite players.
So what are you hoping to see? A juice bomb. Is your favorite? Yeah, basically. Yeah. I like Rudolph.
The Raiders' playoff run has led to lineups for tickets and some standing room only sections during games. And the atmosphere is loud. With many fans decked out in Raiders gear and cheering at the top of their lungs.
I put stripes on my face because I wear stripes. We win against the hat, against the blades.
Some fans have been supporting the team since day one.
Since 1971. Yeah, we were the originals. Well, part of the originals, yes.
It wasn't just Raiders fans in the house this week, as the rival Everett Silvertips had some family support in the stands.
Because my cousin's on there, and he's pretty great. Jesse Heslop, number 22.
People coming from far and wide to see the games. Even local businesses have been getting in on the fun. Wednesday night's game didn't end the way most of the Prince Albert crowd wanted it to, with the Silvertips now one game away from a series win. The Raiders have a do-or-die home game Friday night, and fans are hoping the team will push the series to games 6 and 7. It's safe to say that no matter what the rest of the week holds, the Prince Albert Raiders are a long-standing source of pride for the city and its community members. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Oh, what a run for the PA Raiders, despite the outcome so far. Kayleen, Denise sent in this video looking at the back of her home. This is Blackstrap Lake. That's a water bomber coming in, doing a little practice run, picking up some water and going and dumping it off in some areas. Said it's amazing to see. They were also very glad it was just a training run.
What a cool thing to see, yes, and very grateful. We're just training, got to be prepared.
That's right. Thank you to all those hardworking people in those planes getting that work done.
And thank you to everybody who sends these videos in to us. We love to share them. Reminder that you can send those in to us to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. We would love to share them. All right, let's take a look at this board behind me with watches and warnings. It was a little bit more expansive yesterday, so we're a bit thankful today that we're not quite seeing as much, but the grayed out areas, that is a special weather statement that's talking about the snow that's on the way for some parts of the province. And we are going to be seeing some of that snow in areas farther south than where we're actually seeing the weather statement. But what Environment Canada is saying is that that snow is going to have a really difficult time accumulating because the snow is going to be so wet with the rain that's also on the way. The green areas lighting up on your screen, that's also where we still have some of that rainfall warning in effect. And down south, going into Manitoba, we're still seeing some of that wind warnings as well. In Regina, if you're waking up with us here in the Queen City, we are seeing some fog this morning, so take it slow out on that drive. A little bit of precipitation as well, not quite as much as what we're seeing in central Saskatchewan though. 8 degrees right now to wake us up here, 37 km/h winds, so we are still seeing those winds elevated to start your day, not quite at where we saw them at yesterday though. 3 degrees to wake you up in Saskatoon. Again, seeing some of that precipitation to start your day. Winds coming in right now at 32 km/h. Still seeing some of those minus temperatures in the province as well. -6 to wake you up in Stony Rapids, -5 in South End. 2 degrees in Prince Albert, 1 degree in Melfort, and 4 degrees in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, at least seeing more of that green color in the southeast corner of the province. Estevan at 13 degrees right now. We're seeing 8 degrees in Moose Jaw and 6 degrees in Kindersley, 7 degrees over in Yorkton. Today's forecast, we're seeing some single single-digit highs for some areas in the province this afternoon. 3 degrees for the Battlefords and 3 degrees for Prince Albert. Again, those are some areas that could be seeing some of that snow. It won't be sticking around, but it will be falling. 6 degrees in Saskatoon this afternoon, 8 degrees in Yorkton, a little bit warmer down south, but you are seeing that wind icon again expanding across the south. 17 degrees for Weyburn, though, 19 degrees for Estevan, and 14 degrees for Moose Jaw. Regina 13 today, but dropping down slightly tomorrow to 12 degrees, 6 degrees on Sunday, and 8 degrees for Monday. Finally seeing that sun really return on Tuesday, 12 degrees, 16 degrees for Wednesday, and 18 degrees for Thursday. In Saskatoon, 6 degrees today, dropping down to 3 degrees for Saturday, 8 degrees for Sunday, and 11 degrees for Monday. A whole lot of cloud for your May long weekend. Seeing the sun again on Tuesday, 14 degrees, 16 by Wednesday with some more rain on the way.
Don't want to make you stop. The icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space.
The YMCA's Music for Your Mind event is coming up very, very quickly. It's a fun event. It's all in support of mental health initiatives. And Steve Compton is the CEO of the Regina and area YMCA. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
Let's remind people, in case they landed here from Venus, what the YMCA is all about.
Yeah, the YMCA is all about youth development, mentoring, and helping people be their best selves, whether that's done through our fitness programs, or you have children in childcare, or our community programs, our youth hub. There's a place for everyone.
This event, Music for Your Mind, is very well supported. You've done it for a couple of years now. It's all in support of mental health, and the cool thing about it is that you hear from people who have directly been impacted by and supported by this program. How special is that for you?
Well, I think that's where the message is received the best, is the people that can, speak to experiences that they've had, or, they've been mentoring or supporting someone that's going through some challenges. That's powerful. And this year, again, we'll have a mentor panel, and the mentors will be talking about the work they do with young people, and it creates optimism, right? If you're having challenges, there's room and a place and a helping hand where you need it.
If somebody is out there watching, tell us about the supports that the YMCA is now offering.
Yes, well, we have our, in Regina and Moose Jaw, we have a mentoring program that called Beyond the Bell. And really what it's working with young people that are struggling in some area. And when you talk about mental health, that philosophy is woven through all the programming. And in Moose Jaw, we also have those same type of supports through our youth hub there. And what we're finding is that there's a wait list there as well, too, for people that would like to access mentoring support. So the funds we raise from this event allow us to do that. Funds go to a serious cause, but it is fun. It is a fun event. You got the garage band playing. You're part of that. Tell us what people can expect when they walk through the doors. It should be a great night. We, on May 29th, Connexus Arts Center. There'll be a reception, a mentorship panel, a Name That Tune piece this year for a guitar giveaway, courtesy of Long and McQuaid. And a performance by the garage band, and we think it could be our best year yet. Sales are going well. We have a few tables we can squeeze in, but it's a fun event, and the MC, I heard, is excellent. Is adequate at best. Listen, the garage band, if you've never seen them, it's made up of 5 CEOs and high-profile business people in the community. They get together, they do these things. They've raised a couple $1 million in funds already for a number of places, including the Alan Blair Cancer Center. When do you guys get practice time? Well, that's a bit of a work in progress. It's with busy people, they're busy. So. Where do we get tickets? Well, you can just go to the regina.ymca website, and tickets are available individually or at tables as well. Steve, thank you so much for doing that. We'll see you May 29th at the Connexus Arts Center. Here
here's what's happening in our community. A springtime turkey supper happening May 15th at 5:30 p.m. at Our Lady of Peace Parish, 425 Broad Street. Call 306-543-0421. You can submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca, and click on Community Calendar on the top bar, or you can scan the QR code on your screen.
Tonight.
That was pretty shocking for me.
Lives lost to a deadly toxin that's still for sale.
And the frustrating thing is nothing's happened.
Who's still selling it and why? W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
It's May 15th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Kirby, turning 12 years old today. We hope you have a great birthday. With love from your mom, dad, Ashley, Joey, and Malia. Marking his 70th birthday today is Rick. Happy birthday to you. We hope it's your best one yet. Cheers to a wonderful day. Here's some sisters who share a birthday. Lily turns 8 today, and Kaylin turns 3. Happy birthday to you both. With love from your grandma and grandpa. Looking forward to the weekend now. Monroe is turning 8 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday. We hope you have a wonderful day celebrating with those who love you. Also celebrating tomorrow is Janine. Have a great birthday with lots of love coming your way from the Chapel clan. On Sunday, happy 10th birthday to Adam. Welcome to Double Digits. This shout out coming from your TT Louise, your mom, dad, and sister. Also on Sunday, Aaron Bird, known as Birdman, celebrating his special day. We hope you have a great weekend, Aaron, with love from your fiance, Sorma, as well as your family and friends. And a big happy birthday going out to Leia on May 17th. Have a fabulous birthday with love from Mama and Grandpa. And last but certainly not least, a big happy birthday going out to Rick, celebrating on Monday. Rick, you have a ton of love coming your way from your family. Enjoy your day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Did you give away any money?
We did not, although I had been waiting for this guess. No matter what the sound is, it always is guessed, and that is the hole puncher. So we can officially cross that one off the list. That's what Nicholas gave us this morning. So another $50 into the pot, $14.50 to play for this afternoon with Brandon at 4:40 is your next opportunity there. And then remember, we are taking a break from Name That Sound for the stat on Monday, and we'll return on Tuesday with probably more money. Also talking about some technology today, because we're kind of in the worst timeline, and if you are just so distracted by your phone that this has been an issue when you're eating ice cream, that your phone goes off, you forget your ice cream, it melts. There's now a new spoon out there that will actually disable your phone while you're eating. I've never been distracted while having ice cream, like besides from everything else that's going on in the world, but if that sounds like you, the tech is now out there.
Oh, well, one of these days the hole punch is going to hit. We have to say that, right? One of these times.
we have to use it one day just to mess with everybody.
And you know what's going to happen? Nobody's going to guess it.
Yeah, that time it will be crickets. Never.
Have a great long weekend, and hi to your grandma in Churchbridge.
We will. Have a great weekend. See you too. We'll see you Tuesday.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
I admire your luck, Mr.
Bond. James Bond.
The search for the next James Bond is underway. Amazon MGM Studios has announced the casting process for a new 007 on social media. While they say they don't plan on commenting on specific details during the casting process, they'll share more on who'll be the new British Secret Service agent as soon as the time is right. Scarlett Johansson and Sebastian Stan are joining the cast for The Batman Part 2. Director Matt Reeves teasing with pics of the stars on social media, welcoming them to Gotham. They'll join Robert Pattinson for the Batman sequel in theaters next year.
We got a letter from Mom.
I thought she was dead. What she went with us now? Where's she been at?
She's on her deathbed. The thriller Is God Is hitting theaters today. And in the film, Mallory Johnson and Kara Young stars twin sisters seeking revenge on their father. ABC Audio asked them how they created their on-screen bond.
We spent a lot of time together. We were living in the same hotel, and we would meet each other all the time.
Talk about story
and
packing history.
And happy birthday to Chaz Palminteri. The actor turned 73 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Melissa Adon, ABC News.
Well, sometimes it's hard to remember your little siblings are around. Take a look.
Squeaky. Crew's in there. What's up with Squeaky?
Crew isn't my squeaky.
Look at his face. he feels so betrayed.
And stay in there. You see the little Nerf gun? Stay in there.
Oh, wait, you're there?
That's where you belong.
I am the youngest of four, so I'm the one in the laundry basket.
You're the basket.
I'm the forgotten one. You're the older sibling, right? So you're the one stepping on the basket.
Yeah, maybe. These sisters here are exact opposites. So we got the princess, and then we got the warrior.
Yeah, which you got to have one of each. It keeps you on your toes.
Sure does. So does that wind out there. We'll tell you all about it coming up. TGIF, May 15th.
Deepening low pressure system, that's when you have that combination for really strong winds.
Those winds, something yesterday, weren't they? They caused damage to Sask Power and scenes like this.
You know, the hydrogen is not new. It's been around the industry for many decades. But all the hydrogen the industry is using is manufactured. So you're using energy to produce energy. Here, it's a naturally occurring hydrogen.
Partnership in southern Saskatchewan is set to boost forward production in natural hydrogen.
House. Samuel slips inside and hammers it down.
And a new era of pro basketball in Saskatoon begins. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Friday.
Showed you a video a little bit earlier on of a water bomber practicing on Blackstrap Lake. Had a second picture come into us. Special treat for viewers. Oh, this isn't the water bomber. We screwed this up.
No.
In the best way possible.
Don't say we.
In the best way possible. This is another photo from one of our viewers. They were bottle feeding one of their cattle the other day.
Oh, that's so sweet, though. I mean, if you're going to mess up, at least have the mess up be a cute picture.
Make it be moving.
Yeah.
Utterly.
See, he comes up with that right on the spot.
Utterly ridiculous. Let's get to those headlines. They do include wind. Power outages have been the theme of the day. Much of Saskatchewan. My neighborhood had it. Strong winds barreling through the province. Sierra D'Souza surveyed some of the damage.
After looking outside his kitchen window, Travis Seaford took a drive to see the blowing wind a bit closer.
I'd say 10 seconds, and it was just, you couldn't even see like 5 feet in front of you. It was crazy.
Seaford, who lives in the southwest corner of the province, says his family has been without power since Wednesday evening due to the severe windstorms.
I've never seen anything like that in my lifetime. Like it was crazy to see a dust storm in this country.
As a result, 10 transmission structures have been damaged in several southwest communities, according to Sask Power, with wind gusts as high as 110 kilometers an hour. The storm-related damage has impacted customers in East End, Rosebud, and other rural areas towards the U.S. border.
We were able to restore some communities through switching, but the community of East End is fed only by the line that's damaged, and so we need to complete repairs there before we can restore power.
On Thursday afternoon, several areas in southern Saskatchewan were reporting unplanned power outages. Environment Canada says the cause of these major windstorms is a deep low-pressure system that has come from Alberta, which is common in spring.
We also have a big push of cold air coming in from the Arctic, so when you combine the really warm air that we had the last couple days and some cold air and a rapidly deepening deepening low pressure system, that's when you have that combination for really strong winds.
Luckily, we got a generator, so we can run a couple things. We've actually been without power quite a few times this winter, so it's nothing new to us.
Although crews have been on site since Thursday morning, SaskPower says some communities are expected to be without power until Friday, when high winds have calmed down, making it safer for workers to do their jobs. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Officials warn continued rainfall could worsen already high levels in parts of Saskatchewan dealing with flooding. Heavy rainfall expected across much of Saskatchewan over the next several days, raising concerns about increased runoff and accelerated snow melt in the north. Keelan will get into all of that. Forecasts call for about 20 to 40 millimeters of rain, maybe even snow. Officials say saturated ground and limited absorption capacity could trigger rapid runoff and further rising water levels across the region.
We have rainfall on snow. It can accelerate that runoff where we have that snowpack. So we're watching that. But if it does turn to snow, that does kind of give a little reprieve to that runoff. Kind of slows it down a bit. So that's what we're watching really closely.
Officials urging drivers to consult the highway hotline to avoid any potential washouts. Canada's long-awaited electricity strategy has now been released.
Announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
The new plan is to double the capacity of the national electricity grid by 2050. It would also adjust clean electricity regulations to allow natural gas to play a larger role. Prime Minister says affordability is a key consideration. Cost of construction is at about $1 trillion of public money that will be used to cover the cost. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling it a re-announcement of old Liberal policies. The Prime Minister confirming Thursday his government is moving forward with a potential pipeline for Alberta oil.
For at least 1 million barrels of low-emission Alberta oil a day to new markets.
The Prime Minister saying he's preparing to share details of a new deal with Alberta on carbon pricing. Sources tell CTV News yesterday the deal is set at $130 a ton by 2040. An announcement coming this afternoon. In BC, Premier David Eby reiterating there is still no confirmed proponent or route for the proposed pipeline to the coast, and he's been in touch with the Prime Minister himself.
Opportunity to speak with the Prime Minister this afternoon about his MOU with Alberta's Premier. I am hopeful to be able to meet with him again next week to follow up. We're reviewing the details the Prime Minister has provided about what's in the MOU in terms of implications for British Columbia, the most significant of which relate to the carbon tax.
The prospect of a northern route to BC's coast has consistently been opposed by First Nations. In other news this morning, road work is ramping up across Saskatoon with traffic slowdowns and detours expected on several major roads this summer. Stacey Hine with what drivers can expect.
Drivers in Saskatoon can expect to see more detours and construction zones this summer as some of the city's busiest roads undergo major upgrades.
This work extends the life of our roads and improves driving conditions, and in some busy areas it's being done at night to help ease daytime traffic.
The city says planning for some of its larger projects begins as early as the previous summer, with the goal of limiting traffic disruptions where possible.
We might make a mistake here and there, but we try to do the best that we can, but it's unavoidable in some instances.
Roadwork is scheduled on parts of Ottawa Drive, Circle Drive, and 22nd Street West. The city says while most of the work will happen overnight, drivers may still see crews and prep work during the day.
The actual repaving or resurfacing of the road will be completed at night, but there's often a bunch of prep work that has to happen before we do the resurfacing.
Water main replacements will be underway in 8 neighborhoods. New water and sewer infrastructure is also being installed in the Marquis industrial area near Silverwood Heights, causing a detour along part of Wanuskewin Road. Meanwhile, traffic restrictions remain in place on College Drive and the University Bridge as work continues on the city's Rapid Transit Link project and bridge repairs.
Everything is going to plan, but it's still several months worth of work left there.
The city also recently launched its Respect Work Zones campaign, urging drivers to slow down and avoid distractions in construction areas to keep both workers and travelers safe. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
City of Moose Jaw partnering with a mining company hoping to boost the local economy. Damian Smith reports.
The City of Moose Jaw has signed a memorandum of understanding with Max Power Mining to explore natural hydrogen opportunities.
I'm going to be on the record for this. This is all about building economic development opportunities, and I see this being limitless. The possibilities are very, very great here.
The Lawson site is located just outside of Central Butte and is expected to employ 80 people with 3 different wells.
The sign we look for is economic development, especially the regional and rural economic development is very important for our Max Power, to our team and also our board of directors. Putting the money we are raising from foreign direct investments or from Bay Street, we are putting the money in the province of Saskatchewan.
Natural hydrogen, that's taking it to the next level.
According to Max Power, this is Canada's first dedicated natural hydrogen well. They officially started drilling for the first time in November.
But all the hydrogen the industry is using is manufactured. So you're using energy to produce energy. Here it's a naturally occurring hydrogen, geological hydrogen. So basically, there is no input cost for energy to produce energy.
Mayor James Murdoch says this project will help not only in Moose Jaw, but large parts of southern Saskatchewan as well.
Demand for electricity and power is only getting more and more, so any form of a natural, pure energy that's clean is really going to, I think, set our community ahead.
Max Power says that they've hired companies to analyze reservoir modeling and infrastructure and are talking to the federal government for funding assistance. Damian Smith, CTV News, Moose Jaw.
Saskatoon Mamba officially took to the court for their debut yesterday morning.
House. Samuel slips inside and hammers it down.
30 in the morning, they played this. Jalen House pouring in 33 points and adding 10 assists for the Vancouver Bandits as they beat the Saskatoon Mamba 124-95 at SaskTel Centre. 2,639 people made it out despite the 10:30 tip-off. As you know, the Mamba used to be the Saskatchewan Rattlers. They rebranded in the off-season under new ownership now. The Mamba back in action on Saturday when they visit the Winnipeg Sea Bears. Let's get over to the Weather Center and get that code word of the day.
All right, Daryl, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is wallet. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan the QR code on your screen. Enter wallet with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union and Affinity for You. All right, let's turn our attention back to those wind gusts that we saw yesterday. I know you noticed them outside your windows. We were seeing some of the strongest wind gusts around Radville. We saw them peak around 115 kilometers per hour, according to Environment Canada. Climax at 109 kilometers per hour, Tide at 107 kilometers per hour, Milestone, Swift Current, and Coronach. Another tide to show you, Estevan, Yellowgrass, and Val-Marie peaked at 106 kilometers per hour. Shaunavon, 100 kilometers per hour, and Regina peaking at 98 kilometers per hour. We're still expecting to see strong wind gusts today as well, but not quite as strong as what we saw yesterday. So this is an improvement, believe it or not. We're expecting to see the strongest gusts today right around Estevan. Could be seeing them up to about 70 kilometers per hour. Other than that, areas around North Battleford, Prince Albert, Hudson Bay, and even Saskatoon, seeing them peaking around 40 kilometers per hour. So not quite as bad. What we are seeing though, today that you'll be noticing is that snow. Nothing like a May-long weekend with some snow. Mainly seeing it in the north and central zones for today, at least, and into early tomorrow. Take a look at how this is morphing here. It's still going to be around Prince Albert for this afternoon around 3:45 p.m. Environment Canada is saying that this is going to be very wet snow, so it's likely not going to be a large accumulation of it because it is going to be melting as soon as it hits the ground there. We do get a bit of a break on Saturday. This is at about 8:45 p.m. So seeing a break from the snow at that point, but still seeing some light precipitation down south in the form of rain. And then a larger system coming up from the United States going to start bringing some more snow with it, starting in the southwest corner. Sunday, this is at about 2 p.m. And then Regina is going to be seeing it by Monday in the early morning hours. Today's forecast with that snow and rain and wind going to be very low. 2 degrees for Prince Albert today, only peaking at 3 degrees for the Battleford, 6 degrees for Saskatoon, 13 degrees for Regina, and 19 degrees for Estevan. Your May-long weekend is also looking quite cool. 12 degrees tomorrow for Regina, 6 degrees though on Sunday, and 8 degrees for Monday. Also expecting again some of that precipitation. Saskatoon, 3 degrees tomorrow, 8 degrees by Sunday, and 11 degrees on Monday. Temperatures will be rebounding by mid next week.
This day in history, May 15th, 1919, the Winnipeg General Strike started when 30,000 workers walked off the job to protest wages and working conditions. May 15th, 1885, Louis Riel surrendered to government troops after the Battle of Batoche here in Saskatchewan. 2002, documentary Bowling for Columbine by Michael Moore premieres at the Cannes Film Festival.
Hamburger University with Ronald McDonald.
Good morning, class.
Good morning, Ronald.
Today's subject?
1940. Richard and Maurice McDonald opened the first McDonald's restaurant in San Bernardino, California.
A Regina girl is going viral on Instagram after a heartwarming video of her singing Perfect by Simple Plan captured the attention of thousands. Take a look. Katie, known on social media as the mom next door, shared this clip of 2-year-old Sky singing along to the emotional hit. Katie says Sky has always loved to sing, but this is one of the first times they actually managed to catch the performance on camera without her noticing. We all know that's a struggle as parents. Yeah. The adorable clip gained even more attention after Simple Plan shared the video to the band's Instagram story to show Sky some love, and she deserves it. She's such a sweetheart.
So how many likes does this have now?
About 120,000 and counting as of right now on Instagram. Isn't that so crazy?
Wow, I got to get more videos of my kids doing crazy stuff.
How heartwarming is this, though? She's so cute.
Oh. Question of the day is where we go to next. We're asking you simply, we now know who's not going to win Employee of the Week. That is Director Corey. What are we doing this long weekend, Kayleen?
So many answers. I hope we can actually get to all of them. We have spring cleaning with my friend Richard. We had Phil with a really funny answer. Seeing we are in Saskatchewan, I might just 1, go skiing, 2, go boating, 3, build a snowman, or 4, go camping, have a snowball fight, go golfing, go to a swimming pool, cut the grass, shovel the driveway, fly a kite. Who says there's nothing to do on a long weekend in Saskatchewan? Right?
Might be able to do all of that on a Saturday.
Yeah. Darren saying for my long weekend, I'm going to celebrate the new moisture and prepare to go back seeding on my little farm. We had Patricia saying a weekend with my grandchildren, maybe make the last snow angels of winter if the snow stays, and then if not, we'll just jump up and down in the puddles. It's always fun.
Must be further north than we are here.
Rhonda saying giving thanks that I'm not camping, curling up with a good book and a hot tea. Enjoy your long weekend. Lori saying not doing much this long weekend, perhaps some Netflix and relaxing. That sounds good.
What's a Netflix? I only have Crave TV, the one and only streaming service in all the land.
Sylvia saying just got back from Scotland. She's got some laundry to do. And speaking of Scotland, Marilyn is going to see the Scottish Heavy Athletics on Saturday at Victoria Park. There's some potential plans for you.
There you go.
We had Dan saying he's going to the Next Gen season opener car show, and Allison saying spring cleaning and relaxing.
Spring cleaning is not relaxing.
And saying we're going to be seeding, hopefully hitting the cornucopia greenhouse in Rocanville. And Donna from Yorkton saying watching my granddaughter dance on Sunday at the recital, helping pack for a move.
Jeremy Dodge is off doing some dancing up in Edmonton, well, at least his kids are. We're going to take a time out. We got health news after this.
Tonight.
Saved by St. Clair.
From Pickering, Ontario to Inter Miami.
You're always playing and fighting for something that's way bigger than you. And
how playing with Lionel Messi helped prepare Dane St. Clair for the World Cup with Canada. Tonight on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
A ribbon cutting at the University of Regina to signify a new virtual reality lab for nursing students.
But I like how technology has advanced that they applied it to nursing.
Fourth-year student Tree Lee is no stranger to the world of virtual reality, saying he grew up using it for video games. And now that it is being used across the country to train future nurses like himself, Lee says the VR training is a great way to learn without the stresses of a real-world environment.
Just being able to have a VR setting and having that controlled space where you're allowed to make mistakes, people can learn from it.
Members of the Faculty of Nursing say that several aspects of the VR training will translate directly to real-life situations for the students.
They can talk to the patient, they can manipulate some equipment to a certain extent, they can simulate procedures. It's quite a realistic environment considering it's virtual reality.
The virtual lab becoming a reality thanks to support from the provincial government.
This was something that was proposed by nurses that they thought would improve their ability. And, as a government, we're very proud to partner with our educational partners on educating more nurses. That's our goal, is to have more nurses available to work in Saskatchewan.
Lee says he enrolled because the province is in need of nurses and he wants to do his small part, and that the VR lab provides an exciting new way for himself and future students to receive their education.
I want to be able to work on a hospital unit just to be able to help people, because I've always heard stories of nursing shortages and how nursing is always so stressed and how there's such a high turnover of nurses.
Evans says the lab will allow nursing students to complete 1/4 of their future clinical experience in a virtual setting, which will free up space in hospitals for real-world training. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Let's go back to Government House and rejoin Janelle Lippi. What are we learning about, Janelle?
Good morning. I am back down at the Government House enjoying some time in this beautiful conservatory. And of course, I've got Chad back with me. Now, Chad, an event coming up in August. What day is it on? What can people expect?
So on August 15th, people can expect to enjoy a garden party through time. We're hosting an event put on by the Government House Historical Society, ourselves, and Live History. You'll get to meet characters from different periods of Government House and help them get back to their own time. So it's a bit of an immersive experience, and you'll also get some refreshments that day. Tickets go on sale on the 18th at our summer kickoff, and you get to dress up. Take time, do your Sunday best, garden party fair, wear a fascinator, just really lean into it and enjoy the afternoon, and we're looking forward to it.
All right, well, it sounds like there's lots to look forward to. Make sure you're dressing up for that. You wouldn't want to miss out on an opportunity like that. And Chad, all morning we've been talking about Monday's summer kickoff. What can people expect?
Yep. So there's lots going on between 1 and 4 here at Government House. Hopefully the British Car Club will be here with a car show. We'll have Absolute Zero here for ice cream. We'll have Wild Magic face painting group here. We will have Oh my, so much. We'll be launching our summer exhibit that we've talked about. We'll be kicking off ticket sales for the event that we just mentioned. There'll be scavenger hunts, and Fenwick Farms will be here with lots of cute animals to pet.
Okay, well, Monday is also bringing some excitement. One more time, remind us what time that begins at.
1 to 4 Monday.
1 to 4. All right. Well, Monday is a big day. That summer kickoff. Got to come out and enjoy some time here at the Government House. It's going to be a lot of fun activities.
Welcome into this week's Top 5. I'm Chase from Pure Country Mornings. Starting us off was number 5 last week. Number 5 again this week, Ella Langley and Be Her.
I just want to be her so bad.
Next up, the newest coach on The Voice. He is down 2 spots this week. Riley Green, number 4 with Change My Mind.
So change my mind.
This song, I'm sure it's going to climb to number 1. It's up 1 spot to number 3, Tucker Whitmore and Brunette.
I need to find me a brunette.
After a month as your top song, he is finally dethroned off to runner-up for Luke Combs' Sleepless in a Hotel Room.
Sleepless in a hotel room.
And that means we have a brand new number 1. He's up 2 spots from last week. Jordan Davis turned this truck around, takes your top spot this week.
Don't make me turn this truck around.
Thanks for counting down our top 5 with us. You can catch all of these and the rest of your favorites on Pure Country 92.7. You can find us and stream us with the free iHeartRadio app.
8:29. Thank you for being with us ahead of this long weekend. Sask Power's plan to refurbish coal-fired plants, once again the dominant issue on the final day of spring sitting. Sask NDP voicing their strong opposition to the $2.6 billion capital cost of maintaining coal as the energy source. The opposition calling for a switch to cleaner burning natural gas along with renewables. Sask Power says it could convert the plants at Estevan and Coronach for about the same cost, but there would be drawbacks.
Specifically about gas, absolutely we've looked at gas as a pathway, and I would tell you that right now 90% of the gas that we bring into the province is imported. It's not an in-situ fuel source. We know that LNG is something that the Government of Canada is looking at expanding. Governments of Alberta and BC are on board, and certainly we expect an escalation in the cost of gas. So how do you in turn, when you're planning a power system, ensure that you have a diversity of mix?
Sask Power says refurbishment of coal plants at Estevan and Coronach will act as a bridge toward a nuclear baseload power generation. Opened nearly 50 years ago, the Regina Early Learning Centre is an important provider for the Cathedral neighbourhood, but parents say the daycare's financial situation is now critical. Donovan Mace with why.
Janae Alexson's family is at the Regina Early Learning Center almost every day.
With the programs and all the resources, the drop-in center, everything, we are well connected and we love it.
Operating in the Cathedral neighborhood for nearly 50 years, families from across the city utilize the center as well as the several drop-in programs and various group services it provides. But parents say its future is in jeopardy.
There's lots of families here that hold this center as a lifeline. And when it's going to get shut down, it's not just my family's going to suffer, the whole community is going to suffer, and the kids in the future are going to suffer.
In a letter to parents obtained by CTV News, Executive Director Jessica Goralick says preschool transportation will end June 30th due to financial constraints, adding despite careful consideration and exploration of all possible alternatives, they have reached a point where continuing this service is no longer financially sustainable. She goes on to say they are continuing to navigate funding limitations more broadly, and while challenges remain, they want to assure families they are actively working to secure funding to allow its preschool program to continue operating for the next school year. The Regina Early Learning Center did not respond to repeated interview requests, but families CTV News spoke to say they were told the funding gap is created by a critical donor dropping its support for the center. Where would you go if this place doesn't exist?
I have no idea. I don't even want to think about that.
Parents here are hopeful the community can come together and raise the necessary funds and keep the center open.
Not having this place, it's people who are broken and lost and hurt and, damaged. What are they supposed to do?
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
Some daycares in the province are reportedly running steep deficits, saying the situation will only get worse under the new $10 a day childcare agreement. Virginia DeClute has more from Yorkton.
An emergency meeting was held in Rocanville Wednesday night to discuss changes to the province's childcare agreement.
And so that puts a huge economic strain on families and also on the community. We are a small community, so we have lots of people that work locally. Businesses are going to feel that impact of not having employees that have childcare.
They say an inequitable funding model made worse by recent updates to the Canada-Saskatchewan Canada-wide Early Learning and Childcare Agreement is putting more pressure on their operations.
Actually, we're seeing centres in the past year that have posted anywhere from like $10,000 to $80,000 deficits. Ours, particularly, we posted a $60,000 loss last year.
Werner says they rely on grants, but those are disappearing.
And that's part of the problem with the system that we're running, is running off of grants all the time. Grants can go away at any time, and that's what we're seeing now with this new deal.
The government says updates to the new plan do not remove any existing revenue streams.
That the operators have been provided some guidelines as to what they can charge on an hourly basis or a maximum monthly basis, so we don't erode the affordability for the families. But at the same time, those operators that are providing extended hours of services to the parents and families that need that, they have the ability to now charge additional revenue and generate that.
Werner says the model does not work in practice.
It's the only time our fees move is when the government says that we get an increase. So typically before this agreement came into place, we would adjust our fees yearly to offset any sort of budgetary requirements that we would need, inflation, things like that. We're unable to do that now.
The Ministry of Education says the program is financially sustainable and that the government is working closely with the sector.
This is something that's being done to make sure we maintain the stability within the sector to ensure that it is viable for the long term.
Werner took her fight to the legislature on Thursday, promising to keep pushing for the ministry to roll back the changes, which come into effect on July 1st. Virginia DeClute, CTV News, Rocanville.
Well, you've heard of the Batmobile, but what about the macaw? It may not fight crime, but the sight of a big bird sitting shotgun in a retro ride sure sparks a lot of joy. Adam Sawatsky has more.
That's Evelyn Fitzsimmons on the balcony, looking through her binoculars, searching for her daughter's favorite thing, birds.
Well, she goes out to the balcony and, she looks up at them, and, when the ravens do that, really, throaty sound, she's just like, blap, 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 blap.
When Quinn's not answering the call of the wild ones perched across the street, she's asking to visit the injured ones being rehabilitated at the animal sanctuary. So you can imagine how the toddler felt when she noticed one in a car driving below them, riding on a windshield.
Yes.
That's Quinn's dad yelling from their balcony,
yes,
asking if his daughter could meet the motoring macaw named Admiral Nelson.
He's a good companion. Very good companion.
Jim Turner says Admiral Nelson first bonded with him when the bird was a baby. And for the past 25 years, the macaw has followed his man everywhere.
Been in schools, he's been in hospitals, he's been in old folks' homes. Even when I'm having a shower, he's on my shoulder.
And whenever Jim's getting the car ready, Admiral Nelson is preparing to perch on the passenger seat and seems to relish not just the rides, but the people they meet along the way.
The worst thing for him was COVID, when he had to stay home for a year and a half, and that's when he started pulling feathers out, which is what parents do when they're unhappy.
But as soon as they returned to visiting others, Jim says Admiral Nelson's plucking decreased, feathers increased, and mood took flight.
The thing is, he's a flock animal. Humans are his flock.
And today, Admiral Nelson is expanding the flock by raising his leg to include Quinn and her family.
Kids waved at him, and that's why he started waving back like he's doing right now.
Quinn responds by raising her arm and sharing more than a few smiles.
And anytime I can put a smile on 30 people's faces is a good day.
So the next time Quinn and her mom are searching for birds up in the trees, they'll also look down on the road in the hopes of waving at their new feathered friend driving by. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Parksville.
Come for the classic cars, stay for the bird.
Also for your puns. When we went into that story, Daryl was saying, do you get it, Kayleen? I'm a car. Do you get it?
I just want you to miss the opportunity for a good laugh.
I get it, Daryl. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let's talk about the weather. We're still seeing some watches and warnings in effect. Also, that special weather statement lit up in gray on your screen. That's talking about the snow that's on the way. Yes, snow for your May long weekend. The green on your screen, still an active rainfall warning for some places in the province, although not quite as many as where we saw yesterday. And then still seeing a wind warning in effect only for the southeast corner of the province today, where we could still be seeing gusts up to about 70 kilometers per hour. Let's turn our attention outside. We've been seeing a fluctuating level of fog this morning. Visibility has been a little bit tricky in the Queen City. 8 degrees right now to wake you up. Still seeing some of that precipitation as well, and winds currently coming in at 33 kilometers per hour. So elevated for the morning, but better than what we saw yesterday. Outside in Saskatoon, again, seeing some rain to start your day. 3 degrees right now to wake you up, and winds coming in at 30 kilometers per hour. Let's take a look at current temperatures across the province now. Still seeing some of those minus temperatures in the north. -5 in Stony Rapids, -5 in South End, -3 in La Ronge. 0 degrees right now in Prince Albert, though warmed up to 3 degrees in Hudson Bay just in the past few minutes. That green in the south has been expanding over to the southwest, so that's nice to see. Double digits now in Moose Jaw, Assiniboia, and Weyburn, and Estevan as well. 9 degrees in East End, 8 degrees in Swift Current. Later on into the afternoon, seeing some single-digit highs for areas in the north and central part of the province. 3 degrees with that snow for the Battlefords. 2 degrees in Prince Albert, 6 degrees in Saskatoon, and 8 degrees in Yorkton. Down south, again, still seeing more of those wind gusts, but at least we're seeing some double-digit highs. In terms of accumulations for snow today, it's not actually going to be a lot. Environment Canada is saying that the snow is going to be so wet that it is going to be having a really hard time accumulating. So we're not worrying too much about that. Now, temperatures for your May long weekend, not looking great. You might want to make some indoor plans. 12 degrees tomorrow with a bit of a break from that precipitation in Regina. 6 degrees, so on Sunday, seeing that precipitation return. And it might not just be that rain you're seeing on the screen, could also be some flakes as well. 8 degrees on Monday, still seeing some of that mixed precipitation. 12 degrees on Tuesday, the sun returning just in time for you to go back to work. 16 degrees by Wednesday, the rain returning. 18 degrees by Thursday. In Saskatoon now, you're seeing a whole lot of cloud cover for your May long weekend. 3 degrees tomorrow, so quite a cool day on tap. 8 degrees on Sunday, 11 degrees by Monday, and temperatures thankfully rebounding by mid next week. 16 degrees by Wednesday with more rain on the way, and 17 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud for Thursday.
Night. That was pretty shocking for me. Lives lost to a deadly toxin that's still for sale.
And the frustrating thing is nothing's happened.
Who's still selling it and why? W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Spring weather and warmer temperatures mean tick activity is increasing in Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan Health Authority reminding you to take precautions for you and your pets when you head outdoors. Dr. David Torr is a medical health officer and joins us live this morning. Dr. Torr, thank you for spending a couple of minutes with us. Listen, tick bites can happen most often in the early spring to fall in Saskatchewan. Where do they live?
Well, they usually thrive in bushes, very bushy areas. You find a lot of ticks out there. And as the weather warms up, a lot of folks do go out with our pets as well as with our children into these bushy areas, and it's very easy to get the ticks coming onto you.
So what are some of the things we can do to protect ourselves and our furry friends, our pets?
Well, the best thing for ourselves is wearing light clothing so that it's easier to see those ticks. At the same time, applying DEET, the repellent, insect repellent, on the clothing. Long clothing is much more safer, and of course, tucking the trousers into the socks so that they don't, the ticks don't climb up into the insides of the clothing. And then, very importantly, after taking a walk in such areas that may likely harbor those ticks, making sure those clothes are properly washed, and checking yourself, the children and pets for any ticks that may be there. Of course, if there is a tick, if there are loose ones, those are easy to take off, but those that have dug in, if they have dug in, there is a special way of getting them out using those tweezers and going as close to the skin as possible and having a continuous pressure to have them out. Don't just tug at them in one go. It's very important how to take the tick out.
Okay, so what if we do miss one and it's been on us for a little while? What's the best course of action?
Well, certainly, if the tick has been on you for a longer period of time, say 24 hours or more, there is a higher risk that if it is actually an infected tick, that it may cause some degree of infection. It will also cause local irritation, which may give a skin rash around the area where you are bitten. But if you can get a hold of the tick, it's really important to identify the tick. And we have online etick.ca, where if you take a photo of the tick and send it into etick.ca, they can identify it and say whether it's a dangerous tick, that is one that carries infection, or it's one that is not known to carry infection. In Saskatchewan, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to thank you for your time and hope you have a great long weekend.
Thank you so much. You too.
Well, 'tis the season at JB Sausage. In fairness, it's always the season, but it is now grilling season. Full force, May long weekend upon us. Brody Crozier joins us, and we've got a smattering of flavors in front of us. We want to talk about the difference between rubs and seasonings. Let's start with the rubs.
Sure. So rubs. Typically, going to use a little elbow grease. Rub is in the name. So you got to get in there, smear it all on there. Don't be afraid. And let it sit at least overnight if you can, just to really let the flavors get in there. Typically, they have a little higher sugar content as well, just so you get that sweetness and you can help get that bark on the outside.
The seasonings are the reverse.
Yeah, well, sort of. Yeah, you can put them on right before you put them on, right? The grill, if you're like last minute, like I need some flavor on this thing, you can just season it right beforehand, slap it on there. Typically, those have like a wide variety of flavors. Some of them have sugar, some don't. But yeah, they're all good. We love them all, and it's all very tasty.
Perfect. I love that. Now, something that is even more tasty, the JB Sausage supplies Saskatchewan steak seasoning. Talk about this blend, because it's pretty unique.
Yeah, so we sell a ton of that stuff. It's our version of like a Montreal steak spice sort of thing, but it has like a little bit of a dill flavor on it.
Yes, it says Saskatchewan on there. I thought it was assumed. Saskatchewan's got to have dill, right?
Yeah. So the secret for using one of those is to put it on your steak and then let it sit for about, I don't know, at least 5 minutes, but up to half an hour. Because ideally you want to grill steak at room temperature.
Yeah, even I knew that one.
Yeah. And the blackened just has a lot more pepper in it. Nice. So if you're like pepper, like I do, I prefer the blackened personally. Not that the other one's wrong, but
well, exactly. Yeah, maybe if you the nice peppercorn steak, sometimes you have the sauce. Sometimes you don't want the extra calories of a sauce. So just the seasoning part can free up that part. Not that we're overly concerned, as you can tell about calories over here. And then what about the other options and flavors? I mean, the sky's the limit. We can't go through each and every one of them. No. People can come down here and really find something for their own palate.
For sure, yeah. Like our Greek one, we sell a ton of. It's awesome. I think our prime rib one is actually just a half and half of the two steak spices. Yeah, we got a lemon pepper that we sell a ton of. I'm not a lemon pepper fan, but a lot of people are. So it's personal bias.
Yeah, there you go. That's the nice part. Brody's coming over to your house for supper. Don't make him lemon pepper. Otherwise, Bob's your uncle, as they say. Thank you very much for a couple of minutes. Very, very cool. We didn't even talk about the big beef brisket rubs or any of that stuff. But come on down to JB Sausage locations in Saskatoon and Regina, or online, jbsausage.ca.
This morning, the Rolling Stones' brand new music video for In the Stars, turning back the clock with the help of artificial intelligence.
The stars
The clip stars de-aged digital deepfakes of Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood, looking just like they did 50 years ago. It was created using what the band says is groundbreaking technology from the company Deep Voodoo, and is just the latest example of classic acts embracing AI technology.
And I'm trying to find the magic.
From Billy Joel, also digitally de-aged for his 2024 video for Turn the Lights Back On. To the Beatles, AI lifting John Lennon's voice from a 1970s demo tape to create Then and Now.
You know, we're seeing legacy acts really kind of lean into the nostalgia, and part of that nostalgia appears to be de-aging themselves and wanting to, you know, remind people of yesteryear.
But as AI keeps expanding across the entertainment industry, not all stars are fully on board. In recent years, some artists, like Bad Bunny, have spoken out against unauthorized songs and vocals created to sound like them. And just last month, Taylor Swift filing new trademark applications for her voice and image, seeking to shake off any potential AI misuse.
The one to make you stop, the icing on your cake, the cherry on the top. It's heaven in my heart, and we could find you some space.
The clock is winding down for the Big Bear Bald Eagles home, which is now facing a threat.
However, one elementary school in Danville, California would beg to differ. Here's ABC's Danny New.
You may recall our story last year with Jackie, Shadow, and a nonprofit called Friends of Big Bear Valley. How would you describe these last 48 hours for yourself?
Joy, giggling.
The California-based organization runs a 24/7 live feed of these two eagles that, when their eggs hatched last year, attracted millions. However, now Friends of Big Bear Valley has a $10 million problem.
It's gone up by at least $20,000.
But not if John Baldwin Elementary School can help it.
Every class, 1st through 5th grade, comes in, and one of their first questions is, how much money have we raised?
Sarah Stinson's science class has been learning about the eagles who hunt at a piece of lakefront land called Moon Camp. That said, if $10 million cannot be raised by July 31st to purchase that land from a developer, Moon Camp is going to be turned into luxury homes.
I put up some flyers around some different businesses.
Since learning of this, the students have sprung into action. They've been running lemonade stands and bake sales.
I'm writing this letter to inform you of a problem.
Even starting a persuasive writing campaign in a different class.
The letters are being sent to different people around the world. It can also just be someone from your family.
As of now, SaveMoonCamp.org says Friends of Big Bear Valley and the San Bernardino Land Trust have raised almost $3 million. Also, you may notice the website says, let's do it for Sandy. And that one of Jackie and Shadow's eaglets is named Sandy. Both of these are in honor of former executive director Sandy Steers, who passed away earlier this year. You saw a clip from our interview last March, and here is what she said was her favorite part about the growing popularity of this land and its eagles.
What I'm most thrilled about is people connecting with nature and feeling it and wanting to see what's happening out there, because I think then a lot more people will care about what's outside their door and want to protect it.
And Friends of Big Bear Valley tells our San Francisco station that if they can't raise the money in time, they're prepared to take out loans and pay off the debt with more fundraising. One member said, quote, failure is not an option. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Saving the Eagles. How about a sidebar to close out this Friday? Our long weekend is 3 minutes away. 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 10 seconds to be exact.
To freedom. All right, every day is hump day, though, at this Toronto Zoo. Didn't know camels got the zoomies. Oh my goodness. The zoo's camel calf is growing up so fast after being born at the end of April. We showed you the first steps, remember, of this camel. Now just trotting around.
Usually I would say, wow, so cute with these animal videos, but there's something about camels that just doesn't sit right with me. Look at them. Why do they look like that?
You don't like their humps?
I don't like them. I don't know. Something about that doesn't sit right with me at all.
All right, well.
Anyways, London's Royal Opera House has a new set of curtains. You can get these curtains at IKEA. These are hand-stitched bearing King Charles insignia. Yeah. The last set of curtains were up for 27 years, opening 10,000 performances. Since that time, the process has gone digital, but the final details are still done by hand. The curtains made their debut this week at the Spring Gala.
Beautiful stuff. Hey, and how about this? If you have an extra couple dollars lying around, I know you like thrifting.
Yes.
You can own a section of Eiffel Tower's original staircase. They're going up for auction. So this is the original section. It's 14 steps, dates back to 1889. A total of 526 feet of staircase has been cut into sections and being sold in recent years. This is expected to go for 150,000 euros.
Can you convert that for me real quick? What is that Canadian?
It's about double, right? It's
okay.
Pretty close to double. So look at about 200. Let's say 250 to be generous.
If we combine our net worth, we could maybe buy a piece of it.
Do you want it?
Why not? It's the Eiffel Tower.
It's my wife's birthday. Maybe I should.
Yeah, there's an idea right
there. My wife's birthday on Sunday. Thank you so much for being with us. We are back with you on Tuesday morning, so enjoy your long weekend.
Santa Claus, we never see Santa Claus, what's that? Who's he? No one cares for you, a smidge. When you're in an orphanage, it's a hard knock life. You'll stay up till the snow shines like the top of the Chrysler building. Yank the whiskers from her chin, jab her with the safety pin, make her drink a Mickey Finn. I love you, Miss Hannigan. Get to work. Strip them beds. I said get to work. It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life.